After a long and arduous winter of 1955, we have managed to stabilize the front lines. The Germans, unfortunately, upon seeing that the Soviet Union had capitulated, immediately moved most of their troops towards the east, which exposed the European front lines and forced us to establish lines of control ourselves all along the border to make sure that the Allies don't break through, which initially had trouble because we hadn't done the entrenchment, positions weren't prepared, and all kinds of other nastinesses. So the losses that we have taken in combination with the losses that our submarines have had in the Atlantic from the more aggressive submarine operations and with the resistance that is rampant across Scandinavia still. Denmark has a resistance strength of 51 and is up to 62% as a target. We've had a bit of discontent in the population. And we've lost, as you can see, a decent amount of manpower. I've requested more garrison support from the Germans. And finally, the lines have calmed down. So we will run very limited offensive operations for the time being with the First Army's troops. I've gotten a couple of other things. The First Army's assault divisions are concentrated around the remnants of Belgium. The goal is to occupy the territories, take out Luxembourg, retake the German states in the south, and start pushing the Czech out of Munich and all the way back to the borders of Austria. That's going to be the task of the First Army. We have a couple more of actual mechanized divisions. So I've converted a couple. The mechanized divisions have been updated a little bit. They now have 2 self-propelled artillery and a self-propelled AA. So these are designed to be operating under hostile air. And they are going to... we're going to keep converting the remaining assault divisions in the first, and I think there's about 3 of them, into mechanized divisions, and they will act together with the 6 tank divisions that we have, and they will be filling in and as defensive, filling in defensively after the tank assault divisions. All right, so much. So I've brought the submarines. I'm leaving them in larger squadrons, but I do have to actually reestablish the squadron size. So for now, I've put them back to medium risk engagements. So they're just hunting. Hunting convoys, but not actual escort destroyers. We have, however, managed to sink a fair few of them. So if we're looking at the overview, we've sunk. We've sunk a fair amount of destroyers in the current month alone compared to the last year, but we've lost 2 submarines this month, and we've lost 3 submarines last month. So there's the relatively recent battles. You can see we are sinking at the cost of submarines, but we are sinking a lot of the convoy destroyers. And even a couple of cruisers, so we've been thinning them out quite a bit. We have nothing more to research, so that's over as well. And why are we not producing self-propelled artillery? What happened to that? Yes, we are. It's right here. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but we are producing the self-propelled artillery, and we are trying to build up the air forces further. Okay, that said, let's go. We are... what's the air situation over Western Germany? Yeah, we can contest that. So we're going to get probably just the fighters up in the air for aerial superiority. We're going to fight over the Benelux region first. So that's the right thing to do, and I am just going to restrict it to daytime operations because that reduces the amount of accidents that we're potentially taking. And I am going to grab myself some tank divisions and start cutting into Belgium. So first order of business is we're going to get these divisions, and we're going to Well, we'll just take the tank divisions and the assault infantry. The rest can follow up. We're gonna we're going to see if we can surround Liège from the south, and then take that out. And we've got 2 more tank divisions here, which can assist with the assault, and take out Luxembourg. And there should be 1 more, actually 2 more. Oh yeah, we've got 2 more tank divisions here. They can already move towards Bitburg, so let's get that going. Okay, that assault seems to be harder than it should be. How many divisions are we? Okay, that's a lot of divisions. So let's not do that then. Let's abort that. We don't have any information right now. I have spent... Okay, Germans gave us a lot of manpower. That should help with the garrison duty. I have an operative in France now, but we have fairly little information about the situation here. So we are pushing through French divisions here, and I think the tanks should not have too much of a problem. So let's begin with the operation here for now, and break through near Liège in the south. How is the Air Force looking? We should have... because we are restricted to daytime operations. So when there are daytime operations, we should be having the planes up in the air. And I just want to see if this reduces the amount of losses. No, it's mostly just air battles where we are taking them on. So we may as well run day and night operations. Okay, but we have green air, and I think the tanks are already breaking through. And the mechanized infantry will follow this up. We have the speed, so mechanized infantry is going to follow this up and hold the lines here. So tanks attacking into Luxembourg. There's a couple of Polish divisions here, but I'm interested in surrounding the enemy divisions in Liège, and to take them out and to deprive them of the airport here in the area. Norske got wounded. That is unfortunate, but he's not actually in offensive operations right now. So they are still planning naval invasions near Norway. That's why I've got a couple of divisions left. But otherwise, I've stripped most of the port guard. And as you can see, the Allies are pretty keen on running attacks on us still. But we do have to limit the offensive operations. Also, we're running out of fuel as usual. I am constructing more refineries. That is a lot of French divisions, but the tanks should be able to take that without too much trouble. We're sending reinforcements in with the infantry. And we can get the tanks. From after Luxembourg to push around and take down and assist with clearing that up. I want to push all the way up to the French lines here, and but then just hold it for now, while we are retaking the rest of Germany, which is still German core territory. So that's just something that will be taken care of. And we do have some divisions here that can actually assist from the other side of the river. It's not ideal. Oh, never mind, they've already dealt with it. Okay, Luxembourg is taken. Let me get the motorized infantry to follow that up. They are quite quick, so they can follow that up relatively in a relatively quick manner. Okay, and that's the encirclement done. So now we just need to employ all the divisions that are currently surrounding the area to start attacking into the cauldron. Actually, that's two. Okay, that's actually two positions. Okay, let's cancel the attack on the north. Luxembourg has capitulated. Yep, that was quick. These are not yet surrounded, actually. So let's abort that operation, if I can. It's too many divisions here. I do not want to waste my troops. There we go. instead, we are going to use the armored divisions to clear that up from this side. And just to wipe them out there. Okay. And we've got another armored division here that we can employ, and the rest move up towards Luxembourg. Yeah, Luxembourg's capitulated. I don't think we actually got anything out of that, but well, it's Luxembourg, so we'll just send some divisions south, and the Germans are now actually helping out as well, which is great. I do want the Germans to help out and take this on themselves, rather than me having to do everything here. But we're clearing this, and then we are going to assist with the assault in the north. That's almost done. And I have no idea how many divisions we're actually encircling here. It might be just a fair few, or it might be a lot, but they're getting pushed out of Liège across the river, where they're instantly met with our armored assault divisions. So that's done, which means that these divisions are now completely encircled. And that is 23 divisions. So that's a field army that we've encircled here. We'll get the armored divisions to sweep north, and then assist Germany with the attacks here. And we can bring some of the mechanized divisions up as well, but we definitely need to make sure we are holding this position here. And then we can send the tanks out again, but I'm just going to get them around. How is the air looking? We have green air, mostly. We have good air detection, good mission efficiency. We are losing. We're trading about 1 to 4 at this point, which isn't great. It could be better. And I have about 30 days worth of fuel left, but it could be better. But let's see these 24 divisions. Yeah, let's see these 24 divisions be defeated here. I might take 2 tank divisions and send them around the north, just to open the combat width a little bit. So we can send a couple more. Right now it's mostly the German divisions that are actually helping, plus one of my tank divisions. So let's open that up a little bit more. And then we can, yep, there they go. They are surrendering in large numbers. Well, it's surrender or death, really. And I think that's about as large as combat width as we're going to get. So my tank divisions are crazy powerful. And these guys are completely encircled, which gives them a massive debuff. And they have not really a good way of piercing. It's mostly infantry that we've got here. They don't really have a good way of actually piercing anything. So 15 left. Not many more. And then I think we can support that from the south. Is that still going to widen the combat width? Or are we already attacking from all directions? I think we are already attacking from all directions. So that's as much as it's going to get. But another allied loss and another victory for us. So once that's done, we'll clear out. We can probably try to sweep through southern, what's remaining of southern Belgium, and cut off. We're starting to get some idea here, because the British have brought a huge number of divisions over. So we can start carving up some part of this front line here, and there we go. And that was almost 300,000 Allied divisions. Although we have taken quite some losses ourselves, we are going to reassign the divisions and change the First Army front line. Let's see. Can I modify this? The eternal problem trying to modify a front line that something sits on top of. I think I'll just delete it and redraw it, so at least I know which divisions I need here. It's these, That's mostly the motorized divisions and the tank division. There we go. And you are going to be stationed here, and your next offensive operation is to get me all the way to Stuttgart, really. Alpine Region Offensive Operation. And we've got another one that we want to assign here. And I think I've got 2 regular infantry divisions that are not supposed to be on that line. They can go back to the regular front lines. Okay, so that's done, occupied. Germany can swoop in. And I am going to ground the efforts for now, because first, losses, and second of all, fuel consumption, really. As we are running relatively low on fuel. How's my trade situation? I am trading for a bit too much steel with Germany. Can I trade Germany? Do you have oil that you could trade away? I don't think so. They do. 1. So give me that. I'll take it. And there we go. That should improve things a little bit. I think there were some there was some oil in there was some here's some synthetic refineries that we recaptured, but other than that it's not an awful lot. It's mostly rubber really that Germany is having here from but other than that it's not too much. Okay, so next operation we will probably try to, we don't want to overdo it. We can push through. There's a river crossing here, so I'm going to get the specialized divisions over there. Where are they currently? Actually in the north there. I don't need you there. I am going to get you on a very specific position in Luxembourg. Let's just get you 3 on that one. And then your task is to push across the river, both river lines, and cut off the French divisions here. So we'll move them off the front lines. They were holding the regular front lines. Just double checking that the rest of the lines is clear. Yes, pretty much. Okay, so let's get everybody back. Let's recover a couple of our fuel reserves, and then we'll continue the destruction of the Allied forces here. While this happens, let's have a quick look at the overall losses so far. 2.1 million on the side of of us. Germany is still capitulated, but they'll get there. I've invited the Hui Republic for what it's worth. Not going to do an awful lot of good, but at least they're part of the gang now. But the British have taken relatively low losses. France is quite high already. Czechoslovakia is almost capitulated, by the way. So that's we can do a little bit more than they will be capitulated there as well. Romania, Yugoslavia, but I think everybody wants to see the Americans. We haven't been fighting the Americans in a while, but they are at 15 million casualties caused by us. A lot of these will have been caused at sea, actually. And the Allies are instantly counterattacking here. Who is it that's counterattacking us? The Poles. The Poles again, with some localized counterattacks. We'll wait for the specialized division to be in place, and we are constructing a couple of infrastructure projects here, and then we'll get back to building more of the synthetic refineries. And we'll be dealing with things. So last thing we check. What have we sunk here? The USS Quincy, a modern heavy cruiser. So you see, even on lower risk operations, they are still perfectly capable of taking down convoys. And unescorted convoys in the Arctic are our favorites. So that's where a large part of the American losses is going to come from when they're shipping them across to the British Isles, potentially for invasions into Norway. Our submarines are going to intercept any kind of unescorted losses and make very quick work of them. So that's where a large amount of the American losses is coming from as well. We do have our war support is low. So We are going to have to do something about that because it is impacting our stability, which in return impacts our impacts the resistance, which makes everything more difficult. So we have to limit offensive operations somewhat, and we have captured a French operative. That is good. And I am just waiting for the assault divisions to make their way here. They're almost in place. Where are the other ones? Can you take the train, please? And you are okay. You are almost in position. So let's get everybody in. Let's get everybody in position. And I do need to run the propaganda missions more frequently. Where have we taken bombing losses? I'm not sure. But our war support is declining, mostly from enemy bombing and from combat casualties, which casualties have been a major effect from the operations to clear out the allies on the front lines. That's why I do need to limit the positions. So let's get everybody ready and let's get the operations planned. The heavy crossing divisions are not particularly fast, and we actually have no clue what is awaiting us on the other side, except that it's a fortification. So I am gonna need one of my railway guns. Let's bring that over and make sure that we have that in range here. I'd love to be not directly at the front lines, but last thing we can do, just because I'm doing this between episodes, I haven't really shown you an awful lot about this. What does Germany need? Germany needs anti-air trucks as usual, and modern tanks, and tank destroyers. So what I generally do is I'm sending them what I can. So I can probably send them about 1,500 trucks. What AA do we have left? Not an awful lot, but I can send probably about 500 out of that. I can get them another 100 trains. There we go. And we've got plenty of amphibious tanks that we're not really using. I've lowered the production already on these, so I'll send some of them. I'll send half of them to the Germans, and they can do what they wish with it. So, helping out where I can here, especially with things like trucks. Okay, and yeah, don't be confused by the symbols here. These are actually the. It's a bug. These are the river crossing. These are the river crossing divisions. Okay. I'll be back when we're ready for the next offensive operation to encircle and destroy the two Allied field armies that are standing near Frankfurt. Okay, we had to deal with a large American naval invasion coming across from Dover, landing in Rotterdam, that Germany wasn't able to contain, but now everybody is in place, and we're going to have the heavy marine infantry, the heavy marine armored infantry leading the charge here, and we'll see if we can attack across the river here and get through that. Let's see what we are facing here. That's not too bad. I think we can take that, because these guys have insane soft attack, because they are specialized divisions for river crossing with specifically with an anti-infantry role. So let's get the armored divisions to push in behind them. And then once we are across, we are going to start hanging north, and we will try to. Well, we'll see what we can carve off here, but I'm kind of interested in this large French group of divisions here. That is affected by attrition in the north there, and I am also curious about supply. To be honest, where are the supply hubs here? Saarbrücken is a supply hub. So let's see what we can do here. Regular tanks are already across. So I am gonna see. We're gonna have to wait for the heavies to follow on, but we'll see if we can just push all the way up here. and then we'll see how that goes. But we'll just push forward with the regular tanks, and I would like the infantry to follow this up, please. So motorized infantry, come in, follow that up, and regular armored division. Okay, they are reinforcing there, so let's try to cut that off at least, and then we'll wait for the heavy tanks to make their way across the river, and we'll see if we can get that all wiped out. Germany is following up as well. The Allies are counterattacking us here quite frequently. It's the Poles normally. There are some extremely weak Canadian divisions. I think the regular tanks can push across the river against those without too much trouble. And I do need my infantry to follow up. That's why I have the mechanized infantry here. And regular tanks not as good at river crossings, but against a couple of weakened divisions that should not be too hard. Too much air in Western Germany, so we're not risking the fighters here. But the heavy tanks are already getting across, and once we are across the border there, across the river here, then we can pincer them from the north as well. I don't have anybody ready to pin the Germans, but I have some divisions that can start pushing in once we have everyone encircled there. I just need the tanks. To manage to get across the river, and then the Germans have brought some tanks in as well. Then we will create a pincer move here. Still trying to get past these divisions here in the south with the tanks. I think we might actually divert that and concentrate our forces across the river into attacking this position here and blocking the French divisions in before they can all escape out towards Frankfurt. Obvious risk of a counterattack from Frankfurt is there. To get me some more mechanized infantry to pull up, and more tank divisions as well to pull up, please. We just need to make it across the bridges and across the river and close the gap here that they cannot escape. We do have some idea what we have there, what we're facing there, and they're rushing in some divisions that obviously have no chance, just to slow us down. So they're throwing them into the bridges, hoping to slow us down. But we have made it across now, so once the rest of the armored divisions are catching up, then we should be able to breach this without too much trouble. We just need a couple more tank divisions to join the fight here. We do have railway artillery in the north that'll have to compensate for the lack of fighter cover, but Western Germany is actually, it might be challengeable. So we've got 14 fighter wings. Actually, no, not all of them are fighter wings. So, no, 14 fighter wings, yeah. Do we have a closer airport that we can operate from for Western Germany? Not quite. We will have to operate out of the Netherlands, which is less than ideal. But we can split them up. So let's get 10 wings over to Thüringen. Actually, Köln. Köln is better. And then we get another 4 wings over to Dortmund. And I don't have an airport inside Western Germany, which is not ideal. Köln is inside Western Germany, so that'll work. Okay, let's get the Air Force across and get them on aerial superiority. So we'll see that we can, and that turns the tide quite neatly. So that should do the trick, and we are getting more tank divisions to assist with the push here against these American divisions, actually under Bradley here, relatively well entrenched. I am going to send the ground support in as well, and we will see. We've got 100 days worth. We are under strength here, but We're getting our mission efficiency up. Might have... Can I bring additional ground crews in? Yeah, we'll bring in some additional ground crews to make sure that we are operating at maximum efficiency, because we're also running very much out of supply in the south here. But the target for this operation is to attempt the breakthrough here. And I do need the division from the north to join in again. I don't have anyone else here. We'll bring in another division from the front lines, a fresh one, that we can take them on there. Slowly the tanks are breaking through Bradley's defenses here, and that should trap the majority of these French divisions still, unless they can reinforce, obviously. That should trap them. We do have now. Okay, Bradley has escaped, and we now do have. I'm going to send these in from the north just to widen the front lines. We do have air support. Bradley's escaped. The Turkish are now leading the charge here. The desperate remaining resistance, but there's nothing for it, and we have them encircled. Well done. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up that encirclement here, and that is going to be a job. I do hope the Germans can help with that. Is going to be a job for, well, pretty much everybody. So let's begin by assaulting Bitburg with what we've got here. So attack Bitburg from the south, and we've got a bunch of divisions that can attack from the area of Köln. And we'll try to isolate this French group here, while obviously the British are trying to launch a counterattack from Frankfurt. But we've got sufficient forces here, I believe, at this point, that they're not going to succeed. So while we are running the attack against, oh, that's where Bradley left to. Okay, so Bradley has escaped. Bradley has escaped here into Belgian territory, but that's not going to help him, because once we are through here, we are going to assist with encircling and cutting off Bradley's escape, and then we'll finish off the rest of them. We'll see how many divisions we're actually trapping here. That's 10 here, another 3. The United Kingdom has decrypted our ciphers, so that's 31 divisions. So that's a fair amount, again, of Allied forces that we're carving away here. And increasing the losses on their side, obviously, also causes them trouble. Now, I am going to stop the air operations because they are getting costly. And specifically in terms of fuel as well. So, yeah, we're after being outnumbered 2-1 is going to cost us in terms of losses. So let's stop the operations in the air. We'll just have to make sure nobody breaks out here. And I do need some forces back here, just to make sure that that they are not breaking out. Germany is trying to help against the French here, and we are busy encircling Bradley in the Rhineland here. Okay, and that is going to be his last stand. Once we've pushed everybody across the lines here, I think we can then assault from this direction relatively well. So let's already join the attack here, and we get everybody else to attack from the other side once we are done pushing Bradley back. And yeah, there's a lot of American divisions captured here. We do need a bit more combat width, and we're starting to get the tanks involved. And whenever the tanks get involved, things get spicy. So, and then we'll consolidate our gains, replenish our Russian operative. Okay, then we'll replenish our fuel reserves a little bit, and we are going to Southern Sweden. Are they still trying to invade with the troops here? They might still. So I've left a couple of divisions. They might still try another naval invasion. I've left a couple of divisions, but I think the French are not going to be all too happy about the sheer amount of losses that they're going to be taking. So still Bradley's last stand. Bradley's given off command to the Polish to ensure to ensure that things don't get pinned on his name, but he probably went in. He probably got connections in the Belgian underground and is already over in hiding. So while we are completing the operations here, and then I will probably end the episode. Lots of counterattacks here, most from some American divisions along the lines. Heavy British presence by now. But we will use the tank divisions, and yeah, that's okay. 28, 31, 2, 3, 4, 35 divisions. It's more than a field army here that is now being wiped out. And Bradley has not managed to escape actually, so he might end up in captivity if he can't get away at the last minute. They are encircled. They have nowhere to go, and they're being attacked by tanks from all directions. So we will need to replenish some of our divisions a little bit, and deal with the combat casualties, but and enemy bombing. But yeah, we'll finish this one up. I'll speed it up a little bit, just to see the Americans go down here. And yeah, Bradley making his last stand, his Alamo, and that was it. And that would have been 350,000 casualties. And in the end, it was the French that took responsibility for the defeat. So now we will be, and we have a naval invasion in Norway. That's probably the Americans again. Up there, that's where they are, near Trondheim. It's just 2 divisions, but I can send the 2 mountain divisions already north here, just to deal with any kind of stragglers. And yeah, we will reform the front lines and then continue the push. We're probably taking out Frankfurt next time. Again, encircle, destroy, and then we'll keep carving them. We'll keep carving them up, pushing towards Stuttgart, and then liberating southern Germany. Slow going, but we will get Germany free eventually. And I want to see what before we end the episode, I want to see what the war support is. 50%. It's not too great. Stability is dropping in France quite a bit as well, and how do the Americans take all these losses? Their war support is still a good propaganda running there, and they've still got a lot of willing members to be sent over to Europe. Someone's asked why would the Americans still be fighting if they had taken so many losses. Well, it's all a matter of good propaganda and of making sure that people at home know that millions of Americans actually held prisoner in Europe, and get our boys out has been the motto of the offensive. So they continue fighting, and we continue winning. And that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.